All right, guys, I'm back with another video. And as you can see, I'm titling this video, Winter is Not Over. So I just want to say, there's a lot of people out there already saying, oh, this winter's a dud and we're not going to get any snow. Well, keep in mind, we are still at the beginning of winter. Winter lasts 12 weeks and we are just now finishing up the second week. And we're starting into the third week. So there's a lot of winter yet to come. And so don't think that winter is already over. So before I go any further, I want to just remind you, if you haven't already, I'd like for you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can do that by clicking on the button down at the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. And also, I'd love for you to join my pro site. You can join that at www.patreon.com/Ohio Valley Weather. Well, so speaking of winter not being over, this is the setup that we currently have right now. This was for this morning. And as you can see, there are two low pressure systems that are approaching the Ohio Valley. We have the one low pressure system to our northwest that is going to come across the Great Lakes, and that one from the northwest that is pulling cold air down behind it. And then we have a second low pressure system that's right now over Colorado, and that's going to swing down to the south and then come up into the Ohio Valley. And tomorrow, these two systems are going to merge into one very strong low pressure system, which will make a decent winter storm for some of us. And so this is what it will look like tomorrow morning. You can see the low pressure system from the southwest coming up, and it's going to be bring rain into the Ohio Valley, maybe even some thunderstorms, but we are not expecting any severe weather. Up above the Great Lakes, though, you can see the snow up there, and that's where that cold air is. And so again, this is for tomorrow morning. Now let's go forward. Now this would be for late Thursday night and into Friday morning. You can see as the low pressure system starts to move off to our northeast, on the back side, that cold air is going to get pulled down and we're going to see that rain change over to snow. And this will continue Friday morning and through the day on Friday. And if we push this forward further, this is again for Friday morning, and you would see these lake effect snow showers then are going to continue with the winds out of the northwest, and that will continue through the day on Saturday even, and especially for the snow belts up near Lake Erie. This is going to be a pretty major snow event. In fact, here is what I am predicting as far as snowfall. You can see for locations south of Interstate 70, not much is really going to be expected. Some of us might see a dusting down there, but for those in the north, generally we're looking at 1 to 3 inches. For the mountains of West Virginia and Pennsylvania, looking at 3 to 6. But again, up here in the snow belts near Lake Erie, we're going to see 3 to 6 in the secondary snow belt. And in the primary snow belt, we're looking at 6 to 10 inches. And quite honestly there, I wouldn't be surprised if someone, say, especially between Cleveland and Ashtabula, if someone there might see a foot of snow by Saturday. That's definitely going to be possible. But so now what about looking forward beyond that? Well, let's take a look at the Arctic Oscillation. And as you can see, the Arctic Oscillation is already negative, and it's expected to stay negative, may become neutral a little bit, but mainly it's staying negative through most of January and even most of February is what we're expecting. And remember, when the Arctic Oscillation is negative, this means that we have a weak polar vortex. And when the polar vortex is weak, that means that it will allow the Arctic air to spill out of the Arctic Circle and into the lower latitudes. Now, you might be thinking, well, if that's the case, we've already got an we've already got a negative AO. So why is it so warm? Well, the answer is that means the cold air is going somewhere else. And so where is it going? Well, take a look at this map. This is from yesterday, showing the temperatures across Russia. And yesterday they had some record-breaking cold temperatures across Russia. So this is where that cold air is going right now. It's going out of the Arctic Circle and into Russia. And you can see circled there, we have a couple -60s, and over here a couple -60. Now, that is degrees Celsius, but -60 degrees Celsius would correspond to about -80 degrees Fahrenheit. Like I said, this is record-breaking cold. And so we do have extreme cold up there in the northern hemisphere, but just right now it's being pushed to the other side of the world. So when might we see that come in our direction? Well, that's what I want to talk about. So this map shows the temperature anomaly at 10 millibars, at the 10 millibar level. In other words, this is at a very high altitude, basically the altitude of the stratosphere. And this gives us a way to visualize the polar vortex without any interference from anything on the ground. And what this is showing, you can see, and this is dated for January 12th, you can see we have a warming going on right now over Russia. So in spite of the fact that at the ground level, they're experiencing cold temperatures, up in the stratosphere, they're starting to see some warming up there. And when that happens, this is called a stratospheric warming event. And when a stratospheric warming event happens, it displaces the polar vortex. And you can see how the polar vortex is getting pushed down into the northeastern United States. And so this is a sign that cold air is going to be coming back our way. Now, again, this is in the stratosphere. Often what we see is it takes about a week to 2 weeks before this type of event translates down to the ground level. So this is for January 12th. So if we go a week to 2 weeks, that means somewhere between January and 19th and the 26th, we could start to see that Arctic air come back into the northeastern United States, including the Ohio Valley. Now, another thing to look at, of course, is the Pacific North American pattern, or the PNA. So remember, the PNA measures the temperature in the western United States. And when the PNA is positive, that means the western United States is seeing warmer than normal temperatures. And often that pushes the colder air into the eastern United States. Well, as you can see, right now we do have a positive PNA, but with all the cold air over in Russia, that hasn't been helping us much. It looks like the PNA may go negative just leading up to the 20th, but then around January 21st or so, it looks like we'll see the PNA go positive again. So with the Arctic Oscillation going negative at that time, and we have that stratospheric warming event around that same time, all of this is telling us that it looks like that cold air is going to return to the northeastern United States, including the Ohio Valley, sometime around or shortly after January 20th. Now, if that is the case, then what are the models showing? Well, this is from today's run of the CFS model. And I can tell you, for the last several days, the CFS model has been showing a decent snowstorm for the Ohio Valley between January 24th and the 26th. So in that time frame, it keeps showing run after run that we can expect some kind of a snowstorm again for the Ohio Valley between the 24th and the 26th of January. So right now, that's what I'm expecting. And if that's not enough, let's push out even further. This is again looking at the 10 millibar level. And now this is for January 25th. And you can see around January 25th, it looks like we may have an even more extreme stratospheric warming event, which would push that Arctic air even deeper into the United States. And so this would mean, again, we would have to go 1 to 2 weeks past that. So that would put us into the first part of February. And that could mean that by February, we could see things getting very cold and very wintry again. And speaking of that, the CFS model is catching on to that as well. Notice that this is the projection from the CFS model from today, and this is for February 4th. And you can see based on the CFS model, it's projecting that we could be seeing temperatures right around 30 degrees below normal by the first week of February. Now, keep in mind, for that time frame, a normal temperature would be in the mid 30s. So if we go 30 degrees below normal, that would mean that we would be looking at high temperatures in the single digits, and that would mean that the overnight lows would be well below zero. So again, to sum it all up, winter is not over. Snow lovers, be patient. I do believe that we still have a lot of winter yet to come, and we're still going to have a lot of opportunities for snow. And again, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, I'd love for you to do that. Just click on that subscribe button down at the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. And if you haven't joined my pro site, I'd love for you to do that as well. You can join there at www.patreon.com/Ohio Valley Weather. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video.